Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to do another little project this morning. It's quite a simple project on the outset, that is. So I just ordered from Motone this nice little bracket. As you can see there, it's made from billeted sheet metal. Okay, and so it sits nicely behind, I can show you quickly, the regulator underneath the headlamp here. And so as you'll see, it's going to fit right there. And what will allow me to do is to relocate these headlights. They are quite chunky, and in a future project I'm going to change these. So join me after this intro and see how I get on. So I've got this Allen key just to release these two bolts underneath here first of all. Okay, because I really do need to get to the inside and just so I can release these indicators. So there's two bolts on either side of these. So just give me a second and I'll just release these. That's it. There we go. As you can probably notice, I've raised the bike up slightly, and the reason being is just to save my back, because I'm always on my knees here in the garage, and at the moment I've damaged my back. I've injured it, so I'm having to be really careful with how I approach things and pick things up, but that's another story. It's a relatively simple job, but if you've never done it before, it's a little bit, I feel a bit apprehensive doing the job, you know. So just keep taking this off. There we go. So that's released it already. Don't really want these rolling all over the floor. So I felt the front go a little bit. Take them right out. Put this somewhere safe. Okay, so this is going to come off, and I put a cloth on there so it won't scratch anything or break anything there. It's a little bit, oh, it's not too bad inside there. It would be more messy. But no, that looks all right to me. What I've got to try and do is get my hands in there and try and release this bulb thing that goes into the bulb there. Let's have a little look. It's a bit fiddly, but there we are. That's one. Now, I don't want to pull this wire because it looks like it's holding on to something. I don't want to break it because I'll be totally stuffed then. Oh, it's a bit tough coming off, and there's another little wire just coming off there, as you can see. Keep all these little bits and pieces nice and safe. So I'm just going to put this down. So, as I've discovered just a minute ago, I've taken these two screws out here, and Triumph have neatly compacted all the components, all the wires that I need to take these headlights off at the back. So there's no, like bird's nest as it were, of wires. Confusing. So all I'm going to do now is release, we'll do one at a time so there's no confusion with the wires. Find out where these go, and then just disconnect it and take it off, and then lower it down, put the bracket on. So let's have a quick look, shall we? Gently take this out and see where these wires go. It's nicely greased up for me, thank you. As it should be. So, there we go. So now I've got to find out which wire goes to which wire. See inside there, let's have a quick look. Let's get a bit of light in the situation. Oh, don't want a flashing light, it's not a disco, is it? So here we are. So it's one of these four. Alright, so I'm just going to hold that down and make a quick tug on that to see where I can. Ah, there we are. There we are. It's this one here at the front. If you're not 100% okay with wires or mechanics, I always take a screenshot just so we don't get confused. It does seem that it's black and white to green and white here at the front here, you can see. I don't know if you can see that nice and clear at the front there, look, see that? That's the one I'm tugging on at the moment there. Yeah, that's the one, right at the front there. So we'll crack on with this. Okay, so what I found out is that I need to release the headlamp first of all. Just removing these 2 bolts. And the reason being is because there's an Allen key bolt behind this indicator and this headlight bracket that won't give me much room to play with. So I'm just going to get this around the right way. It's a bit tough, this one. Right, as I say, I've got this. Not very stable, the bike. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit. I can so it's quite tight. And I'm just going to release this one again. There we go. There we go. It's not the bolt being too tight, it's me being too weak. So that's it. So there is a small spacer, or should be a small spacer, maybe not. Behind that, I'm just going to put this down. Right, let's have a quick look. I don't want anything to drop on the floor and roll around. So let's have a quick look. You've got your washers. Perfect. Right, that's one. Let's keep this nice and safe. And 2. So basically what it's gonna might just, there we go. That's it, just sits down nicely like that. I'll put it somewhere safe. So this bike is this Bonneville T120 is a 2018, and this is plastic, not the normal metal, which is what I like. This is the reason, one of the reasons why I want to change the headlight as well. But instead of having that spacer, which is I was expecting, they've got this plastic bit that protrudes, so you don't need it. Clever, really, but I don't know. It does look cheap. I must admit, it really looks just cheap. And that's all the Chinese parts, or actually, I think the parts are made in Thailand. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to admit, my first bike was a Speed Twin, Triumph Speed Twin, and I absolutely loved it. There we go. So that's clear now. That's going to dangle there freely just until I move that. Okay, let's put that there. I'm just going to do the other side now. Now, some of the older bikes have got on these headlight brackets, I've got like an extra hole here for the ignition. And fortunately for me, I haven't got that, and I didn't have to relocate that one. So in that respect, I think I was slightly lucky there. Although I guess it's not a big job to do, you know. So I'm just going to put this down somewhere. Right, so now that it's free, let's have a little look at this one, where this one leads to. Don't really want to take all this out. Let's have a quick look. It's all nicely greased up there, you know what I mean? So as I say, I'm going to do one of these at a time. So I think before I go any further, now I've loosened everything off and the indicators are hanging down limply. Let's have a quick look. I do need to do one at a time, I must admit, because I think what's going to happen is I am going to get a bit confused on that one. Alright, so let's take this one off first. There it is. They just simply plug in. There we are. Let's take this out. I actually thought it was going to be more difficult than that. Let's just drop that down. It's so sticky, my fingers on that. It's grease. There we go. That's one lot of indicators all done. Like I say, I won't release the other one because I don't want to get these two mixed up. Otherwise I'll be indicating right and going left, and vice versa, indicating left and the turn signals will be going right. Okay, so the next job is to release this rectifier. Just move it out of the way slightly so I can put the relocator, indicator relocator. So I've never done this before. I'm holding the headlamp up by a bit of gaffer tape. Don't really want to lose any bits off of this. This should be fine. Let's have a quick look. That's it. Comes off quite nice, I think. It's got a bit of plastic hanging on there. Whoa. What is it with Triumph and their bits of plastic? I don't know. That's it. Make it loose. Do the other side. This indicator relocator is just going to go behind here now. So it's a little bit of faffing around. Do you know what? I don't think. Let's see. Let's have a quick look. It is a bit of faffing. Yeah, that's the bracket that needs to go there to hold the indicator. You can see the holes there as well. So it's just a bit of a lining up of these. It's a bit of a quick look. Oh, that went in straight away. I won't do it too tight. And for the other side, just such a lovely little well-made bit of kit from Motone. This is, you know, that it just allows you to relocate these indicators. And it's so well made. And I'll leave a link in the description. Cost me, I think, with postage, about just under £30, something like that. I'll do it too tight. There's no particular torque settings you have to have just for these small bolts. It's not a major bolt, it's not going to rattle loose. What I should be doing is putting some either copper slip or some Loctite on it, but I just don't think they're going to move. They've been on this since day one, so there we are. And there are the indicator relocators. You see how low they're going to be from the original settings. Anyway, okay, so I've successfully relocated the indicators down below near the regulator, as I said I wanted to do, and I put all the wiring back. Now I've seen some wiring on some bikes that are just like a big nest inside here, and thankfully, to my surprise, when I took this off, Triumph have neatly put this up at the top here, so when I eventually put the headlight back on, which I'm not going to do tonight, it's going to look quite nice and neat. So without further ado, I'm just going to tighten these up, and that'll be my lot for tonight. So basically what I'm going to do tomorrow is take these ugly brackets off. They do look cumbersome and quite large for the actual need for what they're for. So I've actually bought new ones in, and it's not the Motone ones that everybody thinks that I'm going to use. There are various different types of brackets, headlight brackets out there, but for me, although Motone are a good make, they're high quality, you can't deny that. But I found another manufacturer who have made these brackets of good quality as well. Machine billeted for a fraction of the cost. Now I know some people say you pay for what you get, but in this case I've put them up against the Motone brackets and it's exactly the same. All you're doing is paying for the name in this case. I have bought Motone crate bars, as you know, and the Monza cap from Motone, and you know I can't fault them. Absolutely amazing. So without further ado, I'm just going to tidy up here, leave this for now, and tomorrow I'm going to come back and do what I need to do to take these off. It's a bit more complicated taking these brackets off, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to leave this here for tonight. See you in part 2. Hi, so welcome back to the second part of this modification of the bike, and so today I'm just going to try and remove these brackets, these headlight brackets. They came with the bike originally, and as you can see they're made from one sheet metal pressed, and they look quite heavy and cumbersome. So so I was looking around on the internet, and there's an abundance of these headlight brackets, from Chinese cheap ones to really expensive ones. The ones I would normally go for are the Motone ones. They range from about £120. So I saw a friend of mine, he's got a pair, and I thought, well, I'm sure I've seen online some that are cheaper. Now, it's the old adage, you pay for what you get. So I thought, well, okay, I'll order these ones, and if I don't like them, I'll just send them back and get the Motone ones. But here's the thing. I matched these ones up to my friend's Motone headlight brackets, and they are exactly the same. They're exactly the same. All it's missing is the Motone logo. That's all it is. And I'm afraid to say it, I don't think many people are going to notice the difference. So I'm just going to put these on, and there we are. We'll have a little look to see what they look like. So what I've done is I've made the bike nice and stable. I covered the tank with a towel so there's no damage. This handlebar sort of slip and damage the tank, and that's nicely covered. What I'm going to do, as you can see, I've put a little hoist, installed that on the ceiling there, and that is to, when I release the risers on here, I can raise the handlebar out of the way, and that won't be an issue there. Okay, so I'm just going to release all 4 of these nuts and put them somewhere safe once I've taken them off. I'm just going to put these somewhere safe now, so I won't lose all these bolts. So the last one. That one's a bit tough, that one. That's it, just release that. That's somewhere nice and safe, as you can see. And there we are. So basically what I'm going to do is just raise this up. Okay, so my next job, what I got to do is just release these what are called pinch bolts that hold on to the it's a bit of resistance there. That's better. Once it's loose, it's good. There we are. I won't take them all out, just leave it there for now. That should be enough. I'm just going to do the other side now. So just one thing I'd like to mention, I've just just loosened off this pinch bolt. Now, and I know I've done it on the other side, but I've left these ones intact, and that's just to make sure that the alignment of the front shocks stay correct. I will double check them at the end of this once I've fitted the headlight brackets, the new ones that is. So I'm leaving these well alone. You don't have to loose them off. otherwise you'll be in all sorts of trouble. So the next little thing I've got to do, I think this is going to be a little bit troublesome getting off, because this hasn't been mostly moved since I've had the bike, or since it's probably been made. Now this is a 38mm head nut that holds the whole top yoke in place. So this is all ready to unwind. Luckily all this is out the way, so wish me luck on this one. So yeah, you see, the whole thing is just got to twist, so just bear with me. That's it. Wow, that was quite interesting. So what I mean by covering all the tank up, because the last thing I want is for this to scratch. So I'm just going to totally remove all this, put it somewhere safe again, and then all we're going to do is release that. There we go. So I'm going to put it somewhere safe. Okay, so I'm at the point where I'm just going to wiggle these off gently. Got to a certain point and it got stuck, so just bear with me. You don't really have to force these too hard. They should just come up nicely once you've released the pinch bolts on that. As you can see, there we go. Perfect. It's exactly what I want. So the whole thing should be moving now. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'll take off one at a time. Just slide off. Simple as that. There we are. See how big and cumbersome they are. Oh, that's looks really nice. Don't really want to scratch anything. So again, just take this off. That's so easy to come off. Oh, but the rubber seals as well. Right, so I'm just going to leave everything hanging there. So I've just removed these headlight brackets, as you can see, and you can see straight away the difference. I have measured them. They are the same. Should be 41mm in circumference, and that fits just nicely over the stem, the front suspension. So basically, I'm just going to fit these ones here. They're just going to look so nice. But before I do that, I'm going to clean these silver front suspensions up. Okay, bring them up nicely. They haven't seen the light of day since it was made in the factory. So basically just going to fit these back over. Now when I knock these down, I don't want them to interrupt the actual movement of these two nuts here. Right. So as you can see, I've just cleaned the front forks here. They come up really nice. And I'm going to pre-install these nuts in the new headlight brackets. Just going to do it a little bit finger tight, leave it a bit loose, because what I'm going to do is use the old brackets to measure the height of where this lamp or the headlight should actually be. So I'm just going to pre-install them. I'm going to do the other side as well. There we go. Okay, so before I put these on, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of copper slip on all four of these bolts, and that's just so that if ever I have to take it off in the future, it's not going to cause me any problems. Yeah. I'm not going to seize on there for any type of reason. So yeah, I'm going to do this on all four bolts. There we go, just a little bit there. As I said before, a mechanic reminded me, he says, if you see copper slip on all the nuts on the bike, it means that the mechanic has done his job properly, basically. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to put all these on, all four bolts, and then I'm going to use the old ones just to give a bit of measurement. Is that the right one? That's the wrong one. Hold on. So this is the right side. Yeah, that's the right side. So I will measure these up first of all to see if I've got the right height at all on those. Alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just measure these up and get these down to the right height for where the brackets used to be, and we're almost there. Just going to tighten these up. I'll just do them finger tight so I can get a bit of manoeuvre on them. So basically what I'm going to do, just make sure it's all clear. This is the main nut to go on the top of the yoke. This is really important. If we put it on hand tight, there's actually no need to put any copper slip or any Loctite on there. If it goes on by hand freely, you'll know it's on there, not cross-threaded. Because if you mess this up, it looks like you're going to have to buy a new one. But anyway, it's on there and it's on tight. Now, the setting for this, the torque settings, should be 48 Newton meters of torque. So I'm just going to put this on and tighten it up. I think I got it the wrong way. Hold on a minute. Yep, as always, around the wrong way. There we go. That's it. Just do it gently. There's no need to rush to this one because, like I say, it's quite important. Tell you what, thank goodness I got a towel on this tank, mate, because I tell you, it'd be scratched like nobody's business. Right, we're nearly there now. Would help if I had it straight, wouldn't it? That's it. Yep, that's done. Okay, so once we've got the nut on there, 48 Newton meters. I would check your manual if I were you. I'm just going to do these pinch bolts up. Now these pinch bolts, again, not as important, but these have got to be done up to about 20 Newton meters. Again, check your manual, your bike manual, or you can Google it, whatever you want to do. Now I'm just going to put this on for now. Just do it a bit tight, and make sure that it's not pinching the header bolts here. Make sure it's not pinching that. Make sure that this yoke is below. Let's have a quick look on this one. I'll set the correct torque in a minute. And if you haven't touched the lower pinch bolts, you've got no problem with the alignment of the forks. Okay. Right, now let's just bring this sky hook down I created earlier. Just going to gently bring it down. There we go. Let's get this out of the way. And we're almost done, basically. Now, just align this up. Let's push that down a little bit. There we go. There we are. Now I've already marked this, so I know which position the handlebars are on anyway, in the first place. Alright, so I'm just putting the handlebars on. I'll adjust them in a minute. Let's get all these four on there. That's it. I think another little tip here is that put this on finger tight, first of all, or as tight as you can, and just individually do them because it's of the nature of it, it will rock a little bit, so you'll think that you've tightened it up and one side will be tighter than the other. As I found out when I first took these off, the top two were tight and the bottom two were quite loose, so in that respect we have to be a little bit careful there. So I'm just going to tighten them up. As I say, it's all aligned now. I made a little mark here to where the bars would actually sit properly as they were before I took the bars off. So these don't have to be any kind of torque settings. Just tight, don't have to overdo it. There we go. Just that last one now. Just go around each one of them just to make sure that it is tight. And don't over tight them. There we go. Oh dear. Right, so I think that is it, more or less. we put the new brackets on, the headlight brackets, and they've gone on really nice and neat. And we've relocated the indicators using the Motone bracket. And that's the little job that we've done. Didn't take too long in the end. And these are for future builds, or mods, or modifications I should say. And that, my friends, is it. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you like what you see, or you want to make a comment, please do so. You may disagree with me with the quality of this bracket due to the Motone. I mean, look, £120 versus £30. You know, you're going to say to me there's a big difference.